The Design for Assembly software has the ability to import a bill of materials to create the product structure. First, the bill of materials needs to be in a text file format. So wherever your bill of materials resides, you need to do a file export and put that out to a text file format. Then in DFA, from the Analysis menu, you're going to pick Import Text File, and then browse to the location of that file. Included with your software in the DFMA data samples directory is a small bill of materials called PistonBOM.txt. I'm going to select that now. And that will start the four-step wizard that we use to import the bill of materials. First choice we have to make here is, are the fields delimited or are they a fixed width? These are delimited fields in this file. And then down here the software wants us to indicate at what row is the first part located. And so you can see here from the display that it's at row 3. I then go to the next step where I tell it what the delimiter is. In this case it's the tab. You can see it sorts out the text now into 3 columns. So I've got a name, a quantity, and a unit cost. Now in this third step, this is where the work takes place. This is where I have to map the columns in my bill of materials to the location I want to place that data in the Design for Assembly software. So column 1 here is the name, and we can see that's indented. And so the piston subassembly here, because these piston and shaft parts are indented underneath the subassembly with in fact the space character in this file, the software will maintain that parent-child relationship between the subassemblies that you'll see here in a moment. And I click up to column 2, which is the quantity, or what we refer to as the repeat count, and then column 3 is the piece part cost per item. If I had 15 columns, I'd keep going, mapping the rest of the columns to the rest of the fields in DFA. And then finally on this next step, I have the ability to save this specification. So I'm going to save this one to show you briefly at the end what this would look like. I'm going to call it bdi.txt, and what that allows me to do is, if my data is always in that same file format, then I can simply call upon the template bdi.txt and it'll import without having to take me through the wizard. So at this point, if I click Finished, the software will import that bill of material for me. It'll create this product structure. It'll create the subassembly for the piston with the piston and the shaft underneath it. And if we click on one of these parts, we can see it's brought in the name, the repeat count, and finally the piece part cost per item that was specified in the bill of materials. So this is a nice way to get information into the Design for Assembly software quite quickly. If I just show you now how to use that save specification, I inserted a new tab into the analysis. And now from the analysis menu, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to import a text file. I'm going to pick that PistonBOM.txt again, but here from the drop-down now, I'm going to select the bdi.txt template that I created, and then pick the piston bill of materials. And it simply imports per that save specification, bringing in the same data that we saw in the previous example.